Okay.
So I guess my first question for either one of you is just the 75 mile an hour. Can you put in context like where you really want to see this that they don't have it now? I'm assuming like between Metro Center and Gallery Place, trains aren't going to get up to 75. So what areas do you really want to see it where it doesn't exist now?
No, Tom, I mean, just look at the map. There may be some confusion there. 75 is just max speed, so a lot of places are 65. We just have this old rule from the 80s that was connected to a train that hasn't run here in a decade. So this is just cleaning up the entire, aligning how we operate with actually how things were actually, design engineering and construction wise, and what the vehicles are tested and designed for. So if you look at the map, it'll show by color code where all the different speeds are. So, no, like here at LaFont, if you're going, say, here to Archives, I don't know, the max speed might be 35, 40 miles an hour because you're in a signal block that's in the core. You're not going to accelerate to 75 miles and then hit the brakes. So these are more that extended areas, more, the further you get outside of the core, they have like, say, a mile and a half, 2 miles between stations. And it's just running at the speed that the system was designed for.
And I noticed they mentioned. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Tom, I think the takeaway from the board's perspective was the system was built for ATO. And it's a safer, more reliable, more efficient system. And that's what the team is working toward. And, it'll be a better experience for the riders, and we'll also be able to have a more efficient system for the workers, and we'll save money. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
And
And like I mentioned, the speeds aren't ATO. So like I said, there's the first piece, which is speeds, which we're just going to clean up the rules from the 80s. And then as the chair said, ATO is the automation part of the program. So they're in the same presentation, but they're two different topics.
Okay, but like I noticed, like say Silver Spring. Once trains get to Silver Spring, they start going north on the red line. It's 55 miles an hour. Is that a place where you'd like to see them
Silver
go
Spring
faster?
on the Silver Line.
On the red line. No.
Red
Oh,
line,
Silver
red
Spring.
line,
Yeah.
So-
Again, Tom, whatever's in the color code on the map,
Yeah.
I don't program the signaling system. It's all designed at a certain interval between the blocks. So if you look at that map, there'll be blue is one color, red's another color, and they correspond to the actual normal max speed in that section.
Okay. But I guess what I'm looking for is just what's an example of a place where the current speed limit makes no sense and the train should be getting up to
Okay, good example is where we did Silver Line Phase 2. Right now, that was all designed to run at 65 miles an hour, and we arbitrarily decided to run at 59 miles an hour. So we're running 6 miles an hour slower than the system was actually just commissioned and built for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say clean it up. Maximum will still be 75, but some areas will still be less than 75.
Of course, it's whatever that system area was designed for. So like in the core, it could be 35, 40 miles an hour. Other parts of the system could be 55 miles an hour. Some are 65. The issue we have now is we're not aligning with what it was engineered for. We just did a random or arbitrary thing in the 80s that set a max speed because of a vehicle that doesn't exist here anymore versus what should work in the actual engineering of the system. So it's not that all trains are going to go 75 miles an hour. There's very little sections of that. But Silver Line Phase 2 is a good example. Instead of going 59, we'll go 65 miles an hour.
Okay, but you won't go 75 there?
No, because it wasn't designed for
Okay,
that.
it was okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so, how does that save you money? Because it doesn't go in faster, create more wear and tear on trains, or does it not? Since it was designed to do that.
No, it definitely saves money because the trip length. So then you have X amount of staff needed to deliver X amount of service. You have X amount of train cars needed to deliver X amount of service. So that analysis, I think, showed we'll need 2% less rail cars because over the course of the day, you're going from one end and back and forth. If you can deliver that many same trips with the cumulative savings over the course of the whole day might result in 2 less train sets, I think is what we have figured out to run AM peak service.
Okay, is that red line you're talking about, or just in?
I think that was the entire fleet, but yeah, each line has its own all the savings built in. So the yellow line was already, the way yellow line was designed, we're basically running already at the max speed. Green line, again, came after this 59 miles an hour thing, kind of runs normal. Blue's a little bit, but really silver and red are the biggest time savings, and therefore will be the cost efficiencies as well.
And are there any concerns about wear and tear, safety with 7,000 series wheels, that kind of thing?
No, I mean, there might be some conflation here, Tom. It is designed to safely run at 65 or 75 miles an hour. We decided not to do that. So it is safely certified, literally certified by engineers, signed off to run at that miles an hour. We purposely decided not to do that. So this is not a safety topic. From an efficiency point of view, yeah, we'll draw a little bit more energy, but the overall ROI is significantly better for everyone. So whether it's staff needed, it's vehicles, all that kind of stuff. And that's what that multidisciplinary engineering team did all this analysis over the last year to land on that decision.
Okay. And other question, this is definitely for both of you. It just seems like you're getting not total commitments yet, but things are going well, I guess, as far as Virginia being willing to give money, DC, Maryland. I mean, can you update us? Does it look like we're going to avoid the drastic cuts, or is it still up in the air?
Well, that's certainly the hope. We've heard encouraging things coming out of Maryland. They're looking at 150 million or so. I think that's the number that is before the House right now, the House of Delegates, in Maryland. Virginia, we're talking 65. So like 130 is the figure that was discussed a lot when we were in Richmond. So we're hoping that's certainly where we'll start and hopefully where we'll end up. But we're still waiting to hear from the district, where they might be. But there are definitely encouraging signs, Tom. And again, people understand the importance and value of Metro to this region and to the people that depend on Metro, whether it be rail or bus, and to the importance of this economy. And so they're not going to walk away from that investment, and they know they have to do something. And then, once we're able to secure commitments, for the first 2 years, then hopefully then we can move on to the larger discussion of, fixing the underlying financial model.
And from your neck of the woods, did that arena announcement actually help? Because it would make no sense for Virginia to put that there and then have bad Metro service.
Yeah, well, look, we're not involved in the arena issue. Our message was, look, regardless of what happens with that issue, the important thing is we need to look at Metro and fix Metro and get us past these 2 years. So that was our message. That was our focus. I think some people down in Richmond believe, yes, it has helped, certainly. It's focused the discussion on the transportation and transit piece, but that was not our, we focused on Metro and getting a Metro fix for those 2 years, and that was our message.